to share this K-pop Demon Hunters costume that I made for my daughter because I posted on Amazon on my storefront, and I've had so many questions about it on my Instagram DMs. So I'm very proud of it. This is the jacket that I have made for her. And then we have the top and the shorts. And I'm going to go ahead and show you guys what I made and how I did it. And this is without sewing. So if you are not a seamstress, do not worry about it. K-pop is huge. My daughter is obsessed with it, like many, many 8-year-olds. And she came home from a birthday party and she said, "Mommy, this is what I want to be for Halloween." And I said, "Okay, let's go look online." Every costume was like $150. And I was like, yeah, we're not doing that. So I'm going to make it. I don't think she trusted my abilities, but I said, let's see if we can do this. And if it doesn't work out, there's always Amazon. So everything is linked in my storefront below. So if you go to my Amazon link, it's amazon.com/shop/Alyssa Loring. And everything's linked on there that I used. Again, you do not need to sew to be able to do this. My favorite trick of the trade is this double stick tape. It's fabric tape. I do use a little bit of stitching here and there just to hold things together. So first up, we're going to talk about, okay, we live outside of Boston. It is like 40 degrees at night here in the fall, usually. So when my daughter said like, "Oh, the costume has belly out," I was like, I just don't know if that's going to work for where we live. So I ordered this long sleeve athletic top from Amazon. I should also say this costume cost me, I think, about $35. So if you're looking for a DIY that's like affordable, this is it. So this long sleeve athletic top, you could crop it if you want to. The only thing I did here, I added this sequin trim. Now this I did with a hot glue gun. So hot glue and double stick fabric tape are going to be your best friends. Then I bought these little, they're called North Star charms. These are linked in my storefront too. And I did use a needle and thread, gold thread, just to sew this on, because otherwise there really was no good way to get it on there. So there's that. Then we have our hot glue gun that we put our sequin trim. So that's the under layer. Then the black jacket. The black jacket I actually bought was from Shein. And it's a jacket that had these like bows across it. So what I ended up doing was I cut the bows off. I cut the bottom half of the jacket off, just regular scissors, cut it off. Then what I did was put it on my daughter, and I used these clips. I'll link these too. I love these things. I used the clips to say where I was going to fold it up to make it cropped. And then I folded in the inside of the jacket too, because Rumi's jacket is like cropped and kind of like doesn't close all the way. So then what I did was took my double-sided fabric tape and just folded it up and taped it. And then I did a couple of stitches here and there just to hold it, just to be double, triple sure. So that's how I made the crop jacket. Then again, I took my roll of gold sequins, which honestly, this is the most time consuming part, but I think it makes like the biggest difference. And again, hot glue gun. You want to put just a dab of glue on the sequins and put it on the jacket. So I did around the neck and then down the front and around the back too. And then I did down the back of the sleeve. So you can see I did 2 rows just down the back of the sleeve. So So that's our sequins. The chains, I actually ordered 2 different chain belts. So these are on my Amazon storefront again. So the one that has the little like broachy thing on it, I use that for this middle piece. Now, the fabric that I cut off the bottom of the jacket was the fabric that I used for these little X's that Rumi has across her jacket. So I'll show you. So I just kind of like literally like rolled them up and used the fabric tape. And then I sewed, it's like sewing a button. I just sewed the little brooch onto the middle there. And then with the rest of the fabric that I had cut off the bottom of the jacket, I sewed that, taped, used the fabric tape and put it on the sides of the shorts. So these are just like white athletic shorts that, again, in my Amazon storefront. And I just taped, like on the inside, just taped it here and taped it down the sides for the shorts. I think these are just like the cutest thing ever. And then, yeah, so back to so on the chains, then the chains I put one on this side, and I did use just like 1, 2, 3 stitches just to tack them here so they'd stay across. And then the other one, I did just like a couple stitches up here just to hold it. And then there is another chain belt that looks like Rumi's belt. That's this guy that I bought on Amazon as well. And this one just goes like over the shorts. And then I took the other, so there's 2 little like round broochy things on one of the belts that I put on my storefront. The other one I just clipped onto the belt because Rumi has this little like tassel-y thing. I don't think my daughter cared what it looked like. If your child cares that it has like the rectangle and the tassels, you'll have to find something else, but I don't think my daughter cared. So I just added that on here. So this goes around the shorts, and then I just tucked this part up. So it kind of looks like this around the shorts. Now, I'm very proud about this part. The shoulder decoration. So a couple of things. So Rumi has these like floral embroidered decorations, which if you want to like go all out and do that, I have seen on Etsy some people who make like the embroidery chart. And then if you have an embroidery machine, which I don't, you could do that. I tried to buy them off of somebody on Etsy, but they said, oh, sorry, I only do like the chart. So that didn't work. But this piece I'm very proud of because I wasn't sure what I was going to do here. And I ended up buying shoulder pads, like the ones that you put in jackets. I actually asked my mom if she had any jackets with shoulder pads left in them, but she didn't. So I bought these shoulder pads and I just laid one on top of the other and used the fabric tape to tape them together. The fabric tape that I bought comes in this like very skinny version and then like a slightly thicker version. I used the very, very skinny one to put just a little bit of fabric tape here so that they would stick together. Then I used gold, just like, I think this is actually puffy paint, but I just used a paintbrush to like flatten it. So I did 2 coats of the gold puffy paint. Then I took my hot glue gun again, and I glued the sequin trim. Now I have 2 different kinds of sequin trim because I know somebody's going to ask that. So there's this one that is just like the rows of sequins. I don't know if you can see that. And then there's this one that has the sequins and like trim on the outside. Both are linked. So I used my hot glue gun and just did a little bit of trim here for the one that has the trim on it. And then I found these on Shein. They are like, you honestly, I saw somebody make this and they had like, it's just like a ribbon that looked like leaves. You could honestly use like anything, but I found these, I don't even know what you call this, doodads. And so I, again, hot glue gun, hot glued it onto the top here. And then I used just like a dab of hot glue to glue it under here, and use the fabric tape to glue it here. So I think this costume came out just like absolutely the cutest. My daughter is so excited about it, and she wore it to a trunk or treat event. And it was like, it just looked so cute. I don't know if I have a good way of sharing. Let me just pull up a picture so I can show you guys, because it was like, just absolutely looked so cute on her. She had, so we put on white boots, which actually were her winter boots from last year, which I was like, oh my gosh, this is perfect. And then I bought gold shoelaces. So I just switched out the shoelaces and she wore those. They're Kelly and Katie is the brand. They're from DSW. I'll drop a link for those too. And then the last part, which nobody else had, which I think just adds like chef's kiss, a little like singer's headset. All right. So in the video, in the movie, Rumi has like a headset when she's on stage doing Golden, which is what my daughter wanted to be. So I bought this little headset off Amazon. I just clipped off the wire and she put it on. It was perfect. The hair braid is like a whole other thing. I found a tutorial on TikTok about how to braid, and it's like the 5 different braids, and then you just kind of do this like braid around situation. Just look it up on TikTok. There's so many tutorials. It's so easy to do. I have the 24-inch. This is like an extra piece of it, but 24-inch purple hair. I think the 24-inch is like the right length, unless you want to go like super long. And then you just need the purple like hair wax to just pull up the rest of it. So if your daughter or son wants to be Rumi for Halloween, this is just like the perfect costume. Again, everything is linked. If you don't want to do do like the painting, you don't have time to do all this. I actually found these very cute. Take it out of this box. I don't even know what you call this, like an epaulette that goes on the shoulder that my daughter was very excited about. So this, I'm actually maybe going to put on the other one because I feel like Rumi is just like super fancy. And it's just a clip. So if you don't want to go through this whole situation with painting and hot gluing, honestly, just put this on top and I think it just looks so cute. So anyway, that's my little DIY no-sew. I consider myself to be slightly crafty, but honestly, with like fabric tape and a hot glue gun, you are golden. Okay. I'm going to take myself off of here before I embarrass myself, but super cute costume. I hope this was helpful. My nieces have actually already asked for me to make them one. So this is going to be like, I think, a Christmas present that I might have to make like 3 or 4 more of these. But it probably took me, I would say the longest part was like doing these individual sequins around the edges. But it probably took me just like a couple hours to do everything. And I'm just so proud of it. And my daughter looks absolutely adorable wearing it. So totally worth it. So again, everything I use is linked. If you have any questions, drop them here. I hope that this was helpful. I am a motherhood travel lifestyle blogger, but occasionally I do some fun crafty projects like this for my kids. And I'm always happy to share. If it's something that I post and people have comments, always happy to give my information about it and how I did it, and hopefully help you guys, because it's, these things are kind of hard to come up with, and who wants to spend $150 on a Halloween costume that you might wear once? But I did just hear that there's a bunch of K-pop toys coming out from Mattel and Hasbro for next year, which I'm also very excited about. So Mattel and Hasbro, if you want to chit chat about working together, let's do that. And I hope you guys will check out my other content and follow and stick around. Thank you so much. And you also can find me on Instagram, Alyssa Loring, and on my blog, currently named feathersandstripes.com, which is soon to change whenever I have time to do that. Thank you so much, and have a great day, and happy Halloween.